Hey fam, welcome back to Glorious Joy Moments, the podcast about self-improvement, motivation, positivity, and affirmations. And I'm your host, Joy. Let me just start by saying again, happy New Year. I know this is coming a little bit late, but happy New Year and wishing you all a prosperous 2023. We haven't been posting, our schedule because we are having some issues. But thanks be to God now that we are back again, and thank you so much for being here with us. Today with me is someone that has been on this podcast before, and she is Mrs Lovetta Dumbuya. Welcome back to the podcast, Mrs Dumbuya.
Thank you so much, Jerry.
Yeah,
Thank you all for, giving me the opportunity to start.
you're welcome. So today she is here with me to talk about something very relevant, something important, something very, I think, at this stage in life that we need, peace, how to cultivate a peaceful attitude. And this is especially for the youth because we are seeing a lot of chaos happening, a lot of conflict, wars happening because of, lack of peace. Because I just believe that if we have peace within ourselves, we can extend it to others. And she has been doing that in how little way with her organization and the counseling. Help me out, please.
Yeah, superseding counseling services.
Yeah, exactly. So, and she organized a youth peaceful program, where she has some guests who went and talked on a particular program, and it was very impactful. So, and I'm so sorry for not being there initially, but Hamna was well represented.
Yes.
So I'm grateful for that. So, and she's here to talk about that a little and also to delve into the topic of peace. How we can cultivate peace and how we can extend that kind of peaceful atmosphere, peaceful attitude and character to others around us and anywhere we find ourselves. So, Mrs. Dumbuya, please tell us a little bit about what went on that day for the program.
Firstly, I just want to thank you all for always staying glued to Joy Moments. This is a
Glorious Joy Moment.
Glorious Joy Moment. It's a podcast that,
understand.
really shape the mindset of people, and kudos to you. Thank you. And I pray that you continue to do what you do.
Amen.
And in a different way, all of us are trying to make the world a better place, and of course Sierra Leone a better country.
Yeah.
For us to coexist. What we did last week was to, host people that have, given their lives, to shape the lives of people. People that are patriotic. It's not just someone who wants to come and talk. People who, when you check their backgrounds, you see that they have really given in for Sierra Leone. And they were the ones that represented the entire group, So what we did was to have a peace and social transformation conference, wherein we engage young people and we give them solution and give them a choice to choose. It's either war or that's either peace that you want. And they all agree that peace indeed is the foundation or bedrock for us, to coexist and to make Sierra Leone a better place. Okay. So that was what we did, and we talked about the potentials that are in youth, in young people, and we talk about forgiveness. And we also talk about peace starts from the brain, the mindset. Yeah. So that was all what the conference was all about last week. And it was really impactful because we saw people asking questions and answers being given to them.
All right. But before going to the impact of the conference, right? What led to the conference? Because I know that something led to it.
Of course.
Yeah, what led to it?
Well, of course, we all know the status quo right now in Sierra Leone.
Okay.
Not just in Freetown, the entire country.
Yeah.
It is a place that politicians have, led us or lead us to political instability and, of course, tribalism. Tribalism is really dividing Sierra Leone, and none of us is making a push towards stopping it. Except when it blows to proportion, that's the time, people, stakeholders want to come and say, let's do this. But we as young people, we are seeing where tribalism is going to take us, and we want to make a stop to that.
And we are the perpetrators, actually, because if you look at things, the way the way it's happening, right? We are the one taking actions. We are the one that the elders are using. You know, and if we decide that, okay, no, this is enough, you know, this should not be happening, and we take a stand, it will be better for all of us. You know, because you can say, you know, a politician will come and say, okay, go there and go and cause chaos using the youth. You will not hear a politician come and say, okay, let's make a peaceful rally, or let's make something productive of you guys, or support you guys. What are your dreams? You know, let me invest in you. You can't see that happening. We have seen those things happening in other countries. So that's really, really impressive. You know, it's really impressive. Kudos to you and your organization. You know, I was really impressed.
We thank God.
Yeah, God is using you, honestly. So, what were the impact now from that particular conference?
Well, one of the impacts was we were able to showcase or open the mindset of a lot of young people and Sierra Leoneans. And one woman stood up and she said, we want you to take this presentation to places like AYV on national television, that is, you know, used by most people, is the most watched TV, you know, and Mercy TV and stuff like that. And of course we told her that we've been making that push, and the CEO of Mercy TV has given us opportunity to also counsel the nation and to talk about peace, you know. And she was really impressed because we talked about, you know, the things that young people should be doing right now. Some of the things that we opened their eyes to was for them to support, you know, developmentally oriented organizations or you know, campaigns that will lead to peace, instead of them dying for politicians and taking drugs. You know, some of them take drugs to the extent of killing, and themselves, they die in the process, you know, misusing themselves. They can also be pushful or impactful by, you know, building themselves into this attire base, things that we are open for them.
To entrepreneurship, to empower yourself, be independent.
Exactly. So, and one of the speakers, Kongamini Boto, opened our mindset that brain and peace are the two components that we need for development. Because when we talk about peace, if it is not in your mindset, you will take arms and go to war immediately. But if you have it in your mind that to kill someone else is a crime, is a sin, not just to humanity, but to your creator, who is God. And so if you have that mindset that war is not, you know, a fundamental thing for development, because where there is war, there is no development.
Chaos.
There is no social or political or religious stability, you know. So we open their eyes to that, and that if your mind begin to see that if I take this and hurt someone else, it will come back to me. One way or the other, it will come back to me.
Indeed.
Then young people will begin to deviate from that kind of mentality.
So it boils down to, you know, conscience and the love for yourself, the love for mankind, you know, and also, you know, what you put into yourself. Because believe in me, if you love yourself and you love your neighbor, because the Bible tells you that love your neighbor as yourself, right? So if you love yourself and you love your neighbor, you can't go out there, you know, maligning your neighbor, or even punish them in terms of doing, you know, havoc to their lives or to their property, you know, destroying their properties. You can't do that. But because of lack of love and lack of conscience, you can see all of these things happening, right? So for our viewers and listeners, you know, on our last episode with you and me, I asked you a question that what led you into this particular field, what led you to this area, and I just want you to, you know, reiterate that again, you know, for, you know, our new listeners and viewers, you know, what was the biggest moment that led you to doing what you are doing now?
Today, okay. For me, I lost my dad when I was in Form 3 or GSS 3 or junior high school, as you might call it, whatever it is for you. So because of that, I had a lot of challenges, you know, coming up as a young girl, you know, in secondary school. I faced emotional challenges, psychological problems that nobody was there to even listen. For us, for some of us, where we come from, is that they say as long as you have food, you have clothes to put on, you'll be fine. So whatever happens to your emotional well-being is none of their concern. Whatever happens to your feelings, how you feel, or what you want to do, nobody cares about that. And so for me, I said, someone has to be there to give emotional support to people who are weak. There are a lot of people who are not strong. They cannot face challenges like the way other people do. And so as a result, they need someone who will just give them advice that is like a choice.
Okay.
This is what you need to do. Is a choice for you to take.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, it was not. There was nothing like that except for the religious way that I
Community.
took my life.
Okay.
You know, when I started listening to people preaching,
Okay.
you know, talking to me, and I started getting the concept that indeed these people are counseling me.
Yeah.
And because of that counseling, I reshaped my life.
Okay.
I stopped, you know, keeping myself in one place, and I told myself I have to move. There's lots that I have in me that should not be wasted, and it was because of the advice. Because as the Bible says, faith comes by hearing, Hebrews,
Yeah.
and hearing by the word. So as I listened to the word, as I listened to the preaching from the church, all of these things in me started activating.
Okay.
And I said, you know, after university, the Holy Spirit said to me, you have this ability to advise people. Then I said, okay. I formed the counseling organization, and today we are here because I did not have it when I was coming up. So this was what led me to where we are today.
Yeah.
And by the grace of God, we've been doing a lot right across Sierra Leone, you know, and I believe there are other people out there who will do the same.
Indeed.
Because they have the potential in them,
Yeah.
they have the talent in them, they have gone through worse scenarios than I ever
Indeed,
did.
indeed.
So they can pick up from what went wrong in their lives when they were coming up, to change it, because what you hate is what you don't run away from. It's something that you need to change so that it becomes something that you want to see. But if we run away from what we don't like, then it will come back and hurt us. So because I did not like the way I was growing, nobody cared about my emotional well-being, my feelings, I said, I'm not going to sit back and not give people the emotional support they need today. So because of that, I'm trying to change that wrong that happened when I was coming. Yes.
So inspiring, so inspiring. You know, that just, you know, when we are talking, I was just thinking that, okay, yeah, this is a role model talking. This is a mentor talking. You know, she transformed her life. You did what you saw that leaders would do to change your life and even your future. Because if you have just sat down there and you said, okay, and wallow in self-pity,
And
you know,
blame
or
the
blame
government.
denial or your family, you know, or people not supporting you, you would have been here where you are now.
No.
But you took a chance upon yourself, you took a stand, you know, and you went on and did something about that. And that goes for all of us out there. You know, let's stop the excuses. Let's stop the blame games. You know, if you have a passion to do something, or if you are lacking something in your life, you know, do it for yourself. Go and improvise. Do something. Just go out there and act. Take action. Don't just wait and say, okay, I'm going to wait for somebody or someone has promised me something, so I'm going to wait for their promise to come through. No, you will keep waiting forever. If you see that something is lacking, you know, you fulfill that particular purpose. You know, Mrs. Dumbuya here saw that, yeah, she needed counseling, you know, and she got it through listening to, you know, the word of God, to listen to sermons, right? Inspirational people out there. And you can do the same thing. And in fact, right now, we have so much on our plate, you know, we have these Android phones, we have technology, it's all over, it's everywhere, you know, it's so easy. You don't have to know somebody to even, you know, be inspired by them. You know, there are a lot of books out there that you can read to inspire you, to educate yourself. Right? There are a lot of people out there who are doing a lot of good things in the world who you can look up to and emulate them. You know, pick from the good things that they are doing and start doing them. Or you have your own vision, in fact. Sit down and ask yourself, what do I want out of life? What do I want to achieve in life? And write them down. I saw a video, right, on Instagram, and that video, the man was preaching. I can't remember his name right now, but he was saying, write down 5 things that you want to do. And when you have written that 5 things, take them by priority. Which one comes first? 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. The number one, take that number one and start doing it. Number one, get another action for that particular number one, and do all of those things. When you have done them, you just be at the them. Okay, this is the thing that I want to do. It will be clear for you, and you just think that this number one is the thing that I need to do right now, and you start working on it. Stop procrastinating. Life is not forever. We are just here as a travelers. We'll be returning home. So whatever you want to do, whatever you are inspired to do, go out there and do it. And whatever you think that is lacking in your life, you can be that particular thing to someone else. And because you are in that shoe, right? And so you know exactly what to do, to reach out to others that are going through that particular scenario in their lives.
Exactly.
So, Lovetta, what would be your last message?
Well, my last message for Sierra Leone and for everybody that will be listening or watching us is Deuteronomy 30 verse 18. God has given us a choice. He said, I have called heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have given you life and death, blessing and curse. He said, therefore choose life, so that thou and thy seed may live and prosper well. So this is a choice that God has given to us. Equally so for us human beings in Sierra Leone. We have a choice as young people to choose to deviate from political and tribal problems, not to associate ourselves with them, but rather we should make a choice that, you know what, God has given me a purpose, and I'm here on this earth to fulfill that purpose without the politician, without this one that will be seated somewhere promoting hate speech or hate things. I have a choice to choose. I want young people to choose between good and evil. Because God has given us that choice. He said, but when you choose the good, he said you will live long on the earth and you will prosper. So for young people, if you want to prosper, you have to make a choice to do what is right. To always think peace in the brain and act on it. Don't be a talker, be a doer.
Indeed.
Practice what you say.
Talked so much. We have talked
when that happens, believe me, Joyce, Sierra Leone will be a paradise. And this is what we are all doing. You are here to promote development. We are doing it in our own way. Other people are there doing it. Let us appreciate these little things that we do and support each other.
Because that's the thing again. You see this enviousness, jealousy,
everywhere.
It's happening everywhere.
Everywhere.
If someone is doing it next, that we are, just find a linkage and connect with each other.
That's
connect.
it.
Collaborate and let's just support each other grow. When we grow, our country also will grow with us. And we will make this nation the beautiful nation that our forefathers knew, and love. Thank you so much, Lovetta, for being here. I know this has been a wonderful episode.
We have to serve.
It's
a pleasure.
And please, can you just share your social media links so they can go and follow you?
We have a Facebook page, Superseding Grace Counseling Services. We have our Facebook page, our Facebook group, and of course we can go to our website, www.supersedinggracecounselingservices.co. .sl. And then of course we have our YouTube page, Superseding Grace Counseling Services. You can go there and listen to positive vibes, take this counsel, and if you want counseling, you can also go and book appointments who will give you the sessions that will help you bring your emotional state into the way that God has created it. Because a lot of mental issues are killing people. You don't have to suffer it alone. Someone is there that God has prepared to stand by you in your challenges. The only first step to that solution is when you recognize that I need help. And we are here to help. That's why Superseding Grace Counseling Services was formed, to counsel people,
Yeah.
to stand by them when they have emotional problems,
Awesome.
when they have, physical, psychological problems.
Yeah.
We will stand by you and give you the advice
Okay.
that will transform your life to the
Awesome.
glory of God.
Indeed. Because all of this, what we are doing, to the glory of God. That God be the center of everything. Because, God should be the center of everything we are doing. Whatever dreams you have, whatever aspiration you have, don't do it alone. Don't believe in your powers. Don't believe in your qualities that you have or your talents. No. Trust God and rely upon Him and call upon Him to lead you, to guide in every little thing that you are doing.
Amen.
And He will lead you through. And just be patient. That's another thing. Just be patient and He will lead you. So I hope you have loved this particular episode. Thank you so much for being here. Real Moments podcast is on Facebook, YouTube, of course, and Anchor FM, Spotify, and all the other medias where podcasts are available. Just search for us, and you can see the particular episode. This particular episode now, our previous episode also. Thanks and appreciation goes to Multimedia Plus for always supporting us and leading us, and a very special thanks to Syria Library Board for allowing us here this wonderful space. It's such a huge space, and we have a lot of books here. You can come out here and search for the books that you want, and you'll be well attended to. So kudos goes to them and the government of Sierra Leone. Thank you so much again, and for this particular episode, our affirmation will be up soon. Thank you, and till next week, bye bye, stay blessed. Peace is within me. It flows through my mind and body. I feel calm and centered even in hard situations. I handle stressful things with wisdom and clarity. I will not look at the darkness in the world around me, but instead at the light within me. I am stronger than I was yesterday. Life is precious and beautiful, and I desire to focus on the positive.